Greetings friends, if you want to start Path of Exile or want to play in the 3.23 league, I'm happy to introduce you to my bleeding Gladiator build. You'll see that it's quite easy to do the story with it, and after that moving to maps and so on. Before I start, this is a build that I already published a few leagues ago, but this time I want really to focus on what you should be doing in the story mode, especially for your passive tree, but also for your gear. The good thing about this build is that it's very easy to play because you are very resistant but also got good DPS, and after finishing the story you'll also be able to quite easily go in maps and later facing bosses. So in this video I wanted to show you my stuff just after the story. I didn't optimize it to do some maps, but the idea is that you have everything that you should get from Act 1 to Act 10. So I'll start the explanation with the gear, and you want to have armor part, because on the armor you want some armor, on your helmet armor, boots armor, your shield of course armor, and also for your gloves, even if it's not my case. For the rings and amulets, try to get some resistances in order to be around 70%, even if it's after the story, so I'm a bit below, but with some optimization I'll get to my 75% to resistances, and you can also get some stats on your amulet in order to wear your gems. For your weapon, you only want to play with axes, so one-handed axes, and on it you want physical damage, added physical damage, and added in percentage physical damage. For your potions, make sure to have 3 life potions, 1 mobility potions, and 1 mana potions. If possible, try to get some bleeding immune and some freeze immune, or burning immune and so on can be quite nice. So everything is solo self-found except this armor that you should be trading when you reach around level 40 in order to have a 5 sockets item. So make sure to trade it from another player. It costs 1 KO, so it's very easy to trade, but you'll have a very good boost of DPS with these 5 links. Speaking of the gems, during your leveling you'll want to play with Molten Strike because the skill is very efficient and you want to have with it faster attack, melee physical damage, multi-strike, and of course Molten Strike, and Fortify in order to gain a defensive buff. Once the story is over, you'll want to have Lacerate instead of Molten Strike. You also want to play Enduring Cry in order to have a boost of defense with the orbs and also some healing. You have the Blood Rage, which will grant you attack speed and Frenzy Orb when you are clearing packs, which can be also good to have, and this one, Ancestral Warchief, in order to boost your damage, with Flesh and Stone in order to have the stance in blood in order also to boost your damage. So just make sure when you see this aura to have the red one, which will be in blood. After that you want to get also Pride. It's not mandatory to use it right now, you can wait a bit to have a better mana setup, but otherwise you can put it because you'll start having a lot of reserved mana. You also get Dread Banner, also you can save it for later in order to impale your enemies. If you want, you can also use a golem if you need, it's not mandatory for the story, and of course a Lip Slam in order to have the best mobility possible. If you're starting Path of Exile and you don't know yet how to get these gems, in the end it's quite easy. If you go at the part 2 on Lyonnaise Watch, you'll have a quest that you need to do. It's just the very first quest, so you go to see Lily, which is just here, and she'll give you every gem that you want. As you can see, I have all the gems that I need in order to have my setup, and the quest is simply to clear the Twilight Strand, so it's quite fast, and after that you'll have everything that you need. Of course, keep in mind that it is just a leveling setup, and if you need, you have the full setup with the full linked gems on the link below the video. Now for the skill tree, you want to follow this order. First you want to get this one, and then you'll go through here and move to damage here, and the life on your way. Make sure to not take these nodes at the beginning because we need it after the story is over, and when you have a shield you can equip this one and this one. You can get also the mastery which intimidate, and this mastery which will grant you more life. You have also this one which will grant you some attack damage, and here the call to arms. On your way you'll get there, get this mastery which will grant you some rage and hit in order to boost your DPS, get these nuts, get the life, go through here and get this also axe mastery which will increase your damage in bloodstand. Once it's done, go back to here and you get the bleeding mastery, and here this one, the impale mastery, a bit later. Of course, if you need, you also have the full skill tree. The idea is to tell you the path that you need to take on your leveling with this build. When the story is over and that you have this skill tree, you can move to Lacerate. Just don't forget to pick up the Crimson Dance in order to boost your bleeding damage. For the Ascendancy, you'll be able to do very easily the two first ones, so Arena Challenger, which will grant you some attack speed, and this one, Blood in the Eggs, for the first bleeding. You'll also want after this one, it will be a bit later, you'll need first to do some maps in order to finish this third labyrinth, and you also want after either to get Outmatch and Outlast, or if you prefer some more chance to blunk attack damage with Painforged. Lastly, for the Pantheons, you want to get first Soul of Solaris in order to have damage reduction against bosses, and this one, Soul of Grusur, also to have physical damage reduction. For the Bandit, the quest which is at the Act 2, you want to kill them in order to gain the 2 passive points. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that it will help you to have a good start on Path of Exile. As always, if you have a question, make sure to post in the comment and I'll be happy to help you.